Now, if that particular thing comes about regarding the vaginal discharge, so any sort of question can come. So you should know this particular table for the comparison of important ones. Okay. So first of all, we'll discuss up regarding the normal ones, then the Candida, then the Trichomonas, and the last one is bacterial vaginosis. So let's discuss up. One point by point will go. So obviously that is for the candidiasis, vulvovaginal candidiasis, which is the causative organism, Candida albicans. For the trichomonal vaginitis, Trichomonas vaginalis. For the bacterial vaginosis, that is the main one is Gardnerella vaginalis. Along with that, you have those Mobiluncus and Provotella. They associate with this bacterial vaginosis. Fine. The second point is regarding the symptoms. So if you go up in a sequence, na guys, if you just focus upon in your mind only that this is Candida, this is Trichomonas, and the last one is this bacterial vaginosis, then you could be able to gather up more of the information. Okay, Candida, Trichomonas, and bacterial vaginosis. Then symptoms we have talked about now. So in the case of Candida, there is a vulvar itching and the irritation in this particular one, whereas in the Trichomonas, there is a profuse discharge and there is a itching. Vulvar itching is this in this also, and this is malodorous, bad odor. Slightly increased discharge is there in the bacterial vaginosis. So basically, first is Candida, then the Trichomonas, and then the bacterial vaginosis. Now coming to the discharge amount, color, and consistency, that is ACC. So in the case of Candida, the amount is scanty. Okay, the color is white, and mostly it is the form of what? Plaques. The clumped adherent plaques are there. Whereas in the Trichomonas, often profuse discharge, white or yellow in color, even greenish, fine, and it is homogeneous. And in the case of bacterial vaginosis, it is in the moderate amount, white or gray only, and here also it is homogeneous, having a low viscosity, and it uniformly coats the vaginal walls. It uniformly coats what? The vaginal walls. Which one? This particular one, that is the bacterial vaginosis one. So this is regarding the discharge. Now, so this table is from Harrison, guys. The inflammation of the vulva or vaginal epithelium. In this, there is a erythema of the vaginal epithelium, introitus, vulvar dermatitis. These are common in this side. Whereas that is Trichomonas one. Here also there is redness, erythema of the vaginal vulvar epithelium, and the term known as what? Colpitis macularis associates with this Trichomonas, which is also termed as strawberry cervix or strawberry vagina. And in this side, it is not so. Fine. So these are the features here. And then if we go for the pH and all, pH of the vaginal fluid and all, so usually it is less than or equal to 4.5. Okay, basically acidic. In the Candida, it remains less than or equal to 4.5. But in the case of Trichomonas or Trichomoniasis, it goes more than equal to 5. And in the bacterial vaginosis also, it increases more than 4.5. Okay, slightly towards the alkalinity they are going off, but this is relative alkalinity. Fine. Regarding the fishy odor, that is because of the amine release with 10% KOH. That is a feature which is present mainly in the bacterial vaginosis, but sometimes, yes, might be present in the trichomonal also. But mainly it is a feature of what? Bacterial vaginosis, and you call that particular test as what? Whiff test. Okay. As such, in the microscopy, normally what we get is the normal epithelial cells, and the lactobacilli, they are predominant here. Fine. In the case of Candida, what you can get? In the case of Candida, you can have the leukocytes. You can have the leukocytes. Fine. Epithelial cells, mycelia or pseudomycelia, they are present in that, up to in these 80% of Candida albicans cases. Fine. So these are there, and the culture you can do it on the SDA, and you can observe up these true mycelia, what you call them as true hyphae or pseudo hyphae. They are observed up in the case of Candida. Whereas in the case of Trichomonas, you have the leukocytes and trichomonads. These motile trichomonads, they are observed up in the urine examination, and they give a simple urine examination. You can find out that this lady is suffering from trichomoniasis. Okay, 80 to 90% of the symptomatic patients, they have it in their urine. Okay. Then regarding the bacterial vaginosis, somebody asks you that is towards the clue cells. The clue cells, which gives a strong clue regarding this particular bacterial vaginosis, actually what? Epithelial cell, and around that epithelial cell there are these Gardnerella vaginalis, which are there. Okay, so they are present here. Few leukocytes. Here are a few leukocytes, no lactobacilli because they are being replaced by Gardnerella vaginalis. Okay, so that is there. And this particular thing, the Nugent score goes more than or equal to 7. And the Nugent score is actually what? It's a grading in which the normal flora is being replaced by these particular pathogenic organisms like Gardnerella vaginalis, Provotella, or Mobiluncus stuff. Okay. Besides that, you can culture it, isolation of Candida on the SDA. Okay, you can go for isolation of Trichomonas vaginalis also on certain culture media like CPLM or Bushley's. All these particular medias you can use Johnson and Russell, or you can go for this PCR stuff, that is positive NAT, nucleic acid amplification test. Okay, and in this particular case, still they are undergoing up a lot of tests and all, but still that is easily being diagnosed clinically. So why to bother much about the PCR stuff and all? Okay. So this is regarding the pH, this is regarding the fishy order stuff, microscopy, what you can observe up in the microscopy, and other lab findings like which all tests you can do other than that. Fine. Now coming to the treatment part. The treatment part of the Candida, the treatment part revolves around what? The azole creams, that is mecanazole, clotrimazole, these azoles you can give. They come like a cream form, tablet form, suppository form, these they come. And you put up this mecanazole 100 milligram vaginal suppository for the Candida infections, or clotrimazole you can give 100 milligram vaginal tablet, and it is being given once daily for 7 days. Or you can go for fluconazole 150 milligram orally, single dose. Okay, so this is an oral single dose fluconazole, or you can go for clotrimazole tablet or mecanazole suppository. That is regarding the Candida infection. Whereas in the case of Trichomonas, the drug of choice is metronidazole, or tinidazole also you can give 2 gram orally, that is being given off. Fine. Or you can other form, metronidazole 500 milligram orally twice a day for 7 days. That is this regarding the trichomonal meningitis, this vaginitis. Now regarding the bacterial vaginosis, you have again the drug of choice is what? Metronidazole, again 500 milligram oral, BD for 7 days. Fine. Gel also you can give, or this can also be given up like clindamycin and all. But drug of choice is metronidazole. Okay. Now, in which the partner is also to be treated, that is mainly done for the Trichomonas, and in that the examination for the sexually transmitted infection, that is the partner can also be treated off, and treatment you have to give with the metronidazole, that is 2 gram oral. So guys, this is what is the list regarding the various vaginal discharges. The things will revolve around them only. That what is the pH, which particular thing you will give, what particular characteristic you will find on the diagnostic point, which particular one is having a raised pH, which is having the clue cells, which is having Nugent score of what. Okay, so all these particular points I've discussed up in this particular Harrison table. Beautifully it is being given off. So if you revise up this at the end of the day, all discharges regarding the vaginal one will be done at 1.